What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys have been here long enough, 2014 to be exact, yeah, I know it's a long time ago. I don't know if I mentioned it, but in 2014, me and my buddy, we did a film session doing a documentary on myself, kind of talking about how I got into cars and everything in between till present. And in between all of the editing and moving and everything that he was going through, somehow the files got corrupted and lost. So we never released it, and I've been meaning to do one from 2014 till now. I just never did one. But yeah, so today was awesome. If you guys notice in the background, we have the KRX here and not the wagon. Why? Because the wagon is over there. If you guys don't know who Automotive Anatomy is, be sure to give them a follow on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description below. Automotive Anatomy does like interviews with car and owner and kind of get on a one-on-one personal level and kind of talk about their origins, like, you know, the person, how they came about, you know, their cars and so on and so forth. So we have the wagon out here, and last night I washed it. I got it all prepped up for today. And Automotive Anatomy is actually from SoCal. He drove 6 hours plus because of the detour all the way up here to shoot a little segment with me in the wagon. I didn't film any of it. I want to leave all the content for his channel, so if you guys want to check out the interview he did with me and also his other cool videos that he has on his channel, be sure to hit the link in the description below. Give Automotive Anatomy a follow, a subscription. It was such an awesome morning. We did, like I said, the interview, and then we went for the ride along. I gave him a ride along, and I tell you what, his reaction was priceless. My car was acting up today, but it still made enough hit that it gave him that oomph, like, holy shit, this car is gnarly. So again, if you guys want to check out his video of the interview, be sure to hit up Automotive Anatomy on YouTube, subscribe to his channel, hit up his notification bell as well too, because it's gonna drop here real soon. Old Faithful still shooting after the 100K burnout. Man, fall in love with this car all over again every time it goes back onto the street. So I'm gonna have to get the wagon moved back up and covered back up for however long it's gonna sit for, because today, guys, today in this video we're gonna put a turbo kit in the all-wheel drive CRX. It was a little warm today, man, but it took a little while. I put 3 car covers on the wagon. Now the first 2 original one, they are completely torn up. This is an OEM Acura, and then my cat decided, yeah, screw that. So car cover 1, we got car cover 2, brand new car cover number 3 on the bottom, and yeah, I just finished doing that and moved the CRX up. So now I'm gonna move the red one on the driveway so we can start yanking off that stock header. So since putting the swap into this car, probably only driven it about, I've probably only driven about 5 miles. 5 miles is enough for me to make sure everything's working in this car, and everything seems to be working in this car. So I had to adjust the cable a little bit because it was engaging super high. I'm gonna move this on the driveway before it gets too hot. Twin disc life. But the car doesn't show any signs of like major concerns. So instead of putting more miles on this, I am just gonna go ahead and turbo it. These right here, guys, are titanium Speed Factory extended studs. I believe this is the longer kit. Now I can put this away for a very long time, hopefully. I'm gonna mark this to give me a general idea where this downpipe is fitted for. Let's take another look at this, guys. If you guys haven't seen the fabrication video, I'll be sure to link it right here in the top. But again, shout out to Kel for the pies, 7.5 degrees, and I was able to make this nice sharp bend to hopefully clear the fan and radiator setup. But this right here is AHP Alpha TIG using the number 7 torch, the 12 ceramic FUPA cup with a 1/16 tungsten and .040 wire from Harbor Freight, like literally tie wire, and running like 35 CFH, and yeah, not bad. I think this is probably one of the better welds I've ever done. So I'm happy for this. But today, hopefully, we can do the back half of the downpipe. Okay, well, still a little tricky. Never mind. All right, there we go. There we go. So what I'm noticing right now is this guy right here is sticking out a lot further than where it's supposed to be going. So I'm probably gonna have to loosen up this guy right here and clock this fitting so we can pull this back a little bit to screw down into the block -6 right there. So yeah, that's one. And then this guy down here is a little too long. I'm probably gonna have to shorten this guy. Instead of running the 45, I'm gonna run the straight, so it's gonna go straight into the radiator like so. This setup is for a different ram horn, and it is also lengthened for an EG, which the radiator sits like all the way over here, which makes sense to the length. But I'm gonna modify that. It's not a big deal. It'll be quick, and then we'll secure this in a place, and crossing fingers my downpipe and a dump tube fits this radiator. So for the bottom water line to the radiator, I marked it right there where I needed to be cut. Just gonna put some electrical tape right in the middle of that. Cut it as straight as possible. Got the 045 right here, and this is the new straight. Hopefully, this fits like it should. Damn, guys, the 12 points is no fun. So I forgot that these two guys are here on the upper outer runners. I can't use the Speed Factory 12 point, so I got to use regular 12 so I could tighten it down with the hand wrench. So I got all this nicely tightened up. Got the water lines ran, clocked. This one right here should fall into place right there, and this guy here. I think I'm gonna do the water lines before continuing on with downpipe. I got to make sure that I get these guys plugged up before I block the passage of, you know, space here. So yeah, this one's gonna be a little tricky because we are full of coolant. I'm a little tray down here.
Oh, that's weird.
It is weird. It's better for me, yeah?
Yeah, no less.
I was waiting for this thing to gush.
No, it didn't gush out nothing.
Got the water line installed. Surprisingly, there wasn't a lot of coolant coming out of the block, so that made it less messier. Got this one shortened, installed into the radiator. Again, not a lot of coolant that leaked out, so that's good. So now is the moment of truth. See if my downpipe fits. It's really close. Guys, if you saw the downpipe fabrication video, you guys know I made this little template right here. This is to mimic the fan and the radiator like this. This guy right here touches the corner of this guy right there. Now, when I fabricated the downpipe, I made sure to clear the fan and the radiator. I know it's a tight ass fit, but as long as I clear that, I'm crossing fingers that it was going to clear it on the car. And check this out. If I pull the radiator back, which is why the zip tie is chilling right here, right? Look at that. Boys, we got clearance. That's freaking awesome. That is freaking awesome. So, plenty of clearance. I mean, the engine is pretty rock solid. I don't think it'll rock back to hit the radiator, but I know for a fact my wastegate does hit. So, I gotta tie this back really nice and secure, so that way the engine don't vibrate or rub on the radiator itself. But we can still clock this around to get the dump tube to clear it, but I'm more happy that the downpipe fits. The dump tube is really close. It fits, but it's really close. Hey, pull the radiator back real quick, because I'm trying to mimic the radiator being pulled back when everything's all put back together. So if you look, maybe an 1/8 of an inch right there, and it clears the water line in the back. I don't know if you guys can see that. It clears the downpipe itself, and it has a clear shot to the floor right there. Now this is a little sketch for me, but this is how it was before. And because this thing right here is a shield and not an actual row, I don't think it'll dig itself into the radiator. But right now I'm not going to worry about the dump tube because I still have to finish the bottom half of the downpipe. So I'll figure out this when I get to it. Damn, that's hella long.
You gave us some free fries.
Free fries?
That's why you kept looking at me. I was like, this nigga.
I
You should have said something.
I looked over. I thought it was a skunk.
I was like, this nigga, what I got?
Alright guys, so we're picking back up here today, the next day, and last night I got the downpipe welded up. So I decided, you know what, I was gonna MIG the back half since this back section is aluminized steel. You can see that it kind of has that aluminum look to it, and it was already MIG'd to the flange that I was using, so I didn't want to cut it, clean it, TIG it, whatever. I figured I'm just gonna weld the back half with MIG, and then I weld the front half here with MIG as well too. There was a little bit of a gap, so I figured I'm just gonna weld that in with MIG. And then I ran out of wire, so the last joint that I had to weld is TIG welded, and I did that last night at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And the downpipe is pretty much done. So what I got to do right now is I got to reinstall this, right? Because I forgot to mark out the location for the wideband sensor. So I'm gonna mount that in just a second. Right now I just went to the storage to grab my AN line, originally for the ram horn, but the fitting that came off of the GSR motor had a 45 coming off of the pan, so I don't think this will fit. Yeah, not even close. But if I could salvage this end right here and stick a 45 on it, I think it'll work perfectly fine. But if it doesn't, I got plenty of material to make a new one. I also went to the PO box. The only thing I saw in there was this one right here from Tim. We'll open this at the end. Oh, will you look at that? So we got that in the PO box. The PO box has been dry. I know I've gotten a lot of comments talking about, hey, I sent you something, or if you received something yet. There wasn't really anything in there. The only other thing that I got was like a week and a half ago, and It's inside the car, right there at the very bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that. And for some reason, the envelope has gotten like super oiled up. Now it's freaking orange instead of white. I already knew off the bat what that was. It is a shield for a grinder. Look at this. This white package turned freaking no idea. But it is a grinder shield. I have a ton of these. I just prefer to remove them, but I advise you to not remove it off your grinder if you don't really have hand control, because the shield is supposed to protect you. And if you guys ever wonder why I have a lot of holes on my shirt, it's because the sparks hit my shirt, and there were times where I slipped and this caught my shirt. A couple years ago, the grinder did cut my belly right here open, and I had that taken care of. But like I said, if you guys don't have control with the grinder, please use the shield. And to the person who sent me this, because I can't read it anymore, thank you for the shield. I appreciate your concern with my safety. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick downpipe back up, guys, and see where we need to mark our hole for the Y-band. I really forgot there was a second bung welded on right here, which I don't understand why there's one welded here, because Moroso Oil Pan has one there already. But man, if this was a little bit shorter, this would have worked. But I think I'm just gonna stick a 45 on this, so that way it can go to either or fittings on the pan. Running low on my inventory. I got half of a straight, one straight, 190 for dash 10s. That's all I have. This is my box of extra lines. Oh, well, there's two 45s right there. Oh, there's a 45 right here. Probably gonna use that one. I'm just gonna put this one low down, so that if the tuner decides he wants to put his own Y-band, it's easily accessible. Put it right there. Nice and parallel. So I ended up just using the original Moroso bung right there, and I put a 45 on this. Originally this had the straight on it. All I did was switch the heads off and threaded it back. I put Teflon on it to ensure that that's not going to leak. This guy right here is going to be a 90 out, and I think on my last turbo this was clocked a little bit more, where this was kind of close to the block. So I'll have all the space right here to run the coupler. Since I am backdoor and I do have a 90 pipe that goes like this into the turbo, I don't think we have an issue with this guy, since that's how we ran it before. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and just drill the hole for this, and we get this all TIG welded up so we can fully install our downpipe.
Are you okay? What are you moving? Yeah, dude. One of them go and find help, and the other one.
Got the O2 bung all welded up here, guys, and I still need to go buy a new Y-band because this fouled out a long time ago, so it doesn't even read right. If you guys even noticed, the gauge has been off the cluster for a little while now, because like I said, it fouled out. So now the downpipe is pretty much ready to be installed, and then we're gonna try to get the dump tube on there as well. It's a little tight, but it does fit. Alright guys, so we got our feed line installed. This is a dash 3 line with the dash 3 fitting to the turbo. It does have a restrictor, I believe is like, I don't know, like a 030 or 035, but it came with a turbo. Whatever Joaquin was running on his car, it worked perfectly fine. And I got the wastegate fittings. I had to go find them because mine, like I said, went to everybody else's car. So you can tell replica, right? 12 head, shiny as hell, and authentic tile with the more satin silver. I got these plumbed, but I don't have any vacuum line. I got the vacuum line right here going to the solenoid. I need to go grab some vacuum lines to run these guys here, but I got the plug for the max solenoid tucked away over here somewhere when it was turbo. So this guy pretty much just comes back out and plugs onto the solenoid. I believe it's on the top right there. Cool. So yeah, that goes right there. I'm gonna route it a little bit, but I'm gonna tighten up this a little bit more so that way it doesn't go swinging all over the place. But once the vacuum lines are in, you know, their home locations, this thing shouldn't move. Yeah, other than that, I think the last thing here is intercooler. So I gotta clock the turbo, and then intercooler and charge pipe can go on, and then maybe we can try to turn on the car since we have our return line now. Damn guys, it's been a while since this intercooler's been on the car. It's a freaking 800 core Speed Factory radiator from a Mustang that I got from Joe, and I modified it for my car. But damn, I forgot how ginormous this thing is. How does this fit behind my bumper? I do not know. So I was just kind of plowing through everything right now. I spent more time trying to figure out this coupler setup right there in the back. I didn't have the right T-bolt, so I was trying to like hybrid one, but it didn't work. So I ended up putting a 2.5 coupler over the 2-inch. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then I put the T-bolt 2.5 on there to clamp it down. I think it'll be all right. It's so tight knit down there that it'll be hard for it to push through if it pushed through. But if it pushed through, at least it's easy accessible from right here. So the last thing that I got to put on is my charge pipe, and that is right here. Pretty dirty looking. I kind of want to paint it, but I'm not sure. And I kind of want to change the theme with the purple, but I've had that sucker and the wastegate. This is a Tile 44, and I've had it for like 2011, I think it is. And I did have an unpackaging video on the channel, but yeah, just gotta tighten up that guy right there. Get a I don't know what size this is because we're not running the 70 anymore. I don't know what I need right there, but I need a T-bolt clamp for these guys, coupler, and then vacuum line, which I don't think I have, because the only ones that are in this box, which this box was originally for this car, everything vacuum line solenoid was in this box. And these are the lines that I'm left with, all short. But other than the vacuum line, guys, it's pretty much done. We are back, boys. We are back. I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video, guys. I didn't want to carry it on too long. The car is gonna stay on jack stands because we are gonna be doing the exhaust next. I still have to collect a few more parts for the exhaust system, but my muffler, the vibrant muffler that I run on every one of my cars, showed up today, which was supposed to be yesterday, but it showed up today. And the next video, we're going to be doing the exhaust system, full 3-inch to clear the all-wheel drive drivetrain. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video's progress update on the all-wheel drive CRX, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. My buddy Steven reminded me yesterday that my tune date is actually next week. How 3 weeks went by so fast, I have no idea. But if you guys want to stick around and see the all-wheel drive series back on the dyno, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.